Howdy, howdy, howdy. Back at it again. So, I'd asked about match analysis, and I do want to continue it in some way, shape, or form for people that have requested it. It might take a while, because now I have to rewatch and do things. Because I had replays saved, and now I have to find new replays, because they're all previous versions of the game. Whatever. But today I just wanted to take a chance. Saw it come up on YouTube recommended. I'm like, oh, Itazan's playing Marisa now. So I just wanted to watch Itazan. I loved his Abigail. Historically, he's played big body characters, and he's been fantastic at them. After Abigail got his knees cut off in Street Fighter 5, he had to switch to G towards the end of Street Fighter 5. But I'm just curious what he's doing. I noticed he's playing Modern, which I think is interesting because some of the games that I've watched him play, he hasn't really looked like he's necessarily utilized Modern that well. I'm watching this mainly. Are there any setups that I'm unfamiliar with? Just strategies, things I can take away, try to implement in my game. And I figure, hey, let's look at it together. So far that's pretty standard stuff. You see he's buffering crouch, medium punch, drive rush, right? It's definitely a strategy I'm aware of, but it's definitely not something I do as much as I really should. On Modern, again, you can't buffer it into Quadriga, which it's pretty good buffered into on Classic, but here, buffering it in with parry, pretty good. Okay, forward dash. How's he playing up close? Okay, whiff punish with medium punch. And from what I can tell, this is pretty much the BMB off of Heavy Launcher or OD Launcher, is drive rush and then into Superman punch. And again, it's good damage, good Oki, but you don't get the normal safe jump in Modern because you don't have down forward heavy punch, and then again you lose Quadriga. So like her usual enders, she doesn't have access to here. But that's the safe jump, does the usual thing, goes for command grab, gets backdashed, which is just a heck of a read by Luke. But okay, attacks. A little bit of spaghetti there. What's he trying to do out of the corner? That's another thing I want to ask. Okay, charges Gladius. Actually could have DI'd back, but didn't react in time. That's a shame. From what I've seen of him, it looks like charging Gladius in the corner is a big thing he likes to do. That also looks like Oki he likes to take. It's just kind of doing forwards heavy kick into light Gladius. Okay, he tried to buffer there, but the trade kind of screwed him over. Punish, counter, throw, man. What's he gonna do? Okay, crouch, medium punch, buffer. Again, that seems to be something that he really likes to do neutral. That's also something that I've noticed watching him, is he'll do medium punch buffer or something, and then he'll just do Gladius. Maybe not straight after, but he'll wait a little bit and then he'll do a light Gladius. I think it's to be like, oh, I just whiffed something. Now you're going to try to take this space. So I'm going to charge Gladius and bop you. And it's really cool. That's a massive gap. Medium punch without drive rush advantage or anything. That's actually just a massive gap. There, he did it again. Whiff a button, do Gladius. So it's like, hey, respect my whiffs, man. Respect them. Throw him into the corner. This Oki's good, makes you +2. So throw these buttons there. There you did it again, buffer. Okay, so like here my brain is like, okay, you're on Modern, right? You're down a round, so you really don't want to spend the level 3, right? Especially since Luke has his meter. You got a pretty big life lead. So I think you can play pretty aggressively here. There, you see it. That worked. That he's done it 3 times this round. This round, and it's worked for him every time. Where he's just whiffing a button and then doing like Gladius. He doesn't do it every time. Okay, and there's the convert. There's the confirm. Okay, so now this is what I'm talking about. It's like, in terms of not using Modern, is one of the great advantages is you can react to like everything, right? And Marisa's level 3 is really good. Okay. So like to me, he either wants to use his level 3 to react to like a sandblast or something, right? or he wants to use the threat that he could to convince Luke to not throw fireballs. And I think that's more how Itazan's playing, right? It's like, well, I could react to a fireball, so I want you to respect that and not throw them and let me play ground game. So I think that's kind of how he's using it, because he doesn't really seem to use the instant reaction stuff that much, at least not in any of the games that I've watched so far. Because even like this, right? Like, I don't think this is a block. Maybe that was a block swing. That was. You see it again here. We got whiff, Gladius, right? He also does seem to like to do DI from that sort of range. And again, I think it's just like a, hey, don't throw a fireball thing. Because you're not expecting him to throw DI. Like, think about all the stuff you have to watch out for from this range with Marisa. You have to worry about heavy punch. You have to worry about drive rush heavy punch. You have to worry about Superman punch. You have to worry about her charging Gladius. I mean, she could jump. She could, you know, there's a lot of different things. So like, when he just throws at a DI from this range, no way you're reacting to it. But if Luke did something like, you know, try to throw a fireball, which that's a range he'd throw a fireball from, DI is not the worst thing in the world. Okay, he does that sometimes after Superman punch is blocked as well, where he'll charge Gladius. He likes to sort of, what I've seen, and I think we'll see this here throughout these games we're going to watch, is after Superman punch gets blocked, what do you do? Because, I mean, if you play this character, you know she's plus, but it's not really, like, she didn't get a mix-up. So really your best bet is to try to do some sort of spacing trap. So I think he does this Gladius to encourage him to try to push a button, and then later on he's going to go down to like crouch medium punch and try to whiff punish. Jebaited. Okay, he spends it here, but again, this isn't like he does the modern input because it doesn't affect the scaling, right? So like here, now he just doesn't get a benefit to being modern anymore, basically. Okay, it doesn't fall for the bait to get level 3'd and just gets the punish. Fantastic. So far, the options here, crouch medium punch buffer, okay? And then when the crouch medium punch whiffs, he'll do like Gladius, right? After block Superman punch, so far he's done light punch Gladius. So far, the only one he's done in neutral is light. He hasn't done medium or heavy, which is interesting because I think Big Bird, at least early on, was mixing up the strengths a little bit. Okay, game 2. So again, whiffs, and now he does Superman punch, right? So again, it's like whiffs a button. He doesn't just wait to block. He's doing a move with armor. There's DI at kind of that close fireball range again. Whiff medium punch. There he does DI, gets perfect parried. This is gonna have no this is gonna do no damage. Yeah. But he's in the corner. What's he do to try to get out? Gladius. Does another one. Gain some space. Command grab. There, he just whiffed crouch medium punch like 4 times. Okay. So that's what I'm talking about. See, so he did Superman punch, and now after Superman punch gets blocked, crouch medium punch to try to presumably whiff punish whatever thing Luke is going to throw out there to take back space. Does it again, and then does DI. And Luke doesn't bite at all. Gets kind of a suboptimal punish probably. Tries to tech, gets meatied. I think he's plus here, but yeah, you don't, I mean, you're not expecting somebody to drop their combo. Not quite dead. Doesn't really have a good reversal here, though. So he's still kind of in a rough spot. Okay, does again. You see that? He did that again. Crouch medium punch. Okay. Let's just go straight into super punch. Throw out DI, which I get if it hits, like if Luke's not pressing anything. But it's kind of risky, just because it loses to any button. Again, there, crouch medium punch. And then we do charge Gladius straight away. So like, that's something interesting there too, right? Medium punch, charge Gladius. Reads the backdash. I think that probably is damage optimal on Modern. On Classic, I think going for Command Grab after Superman Punch actually does more damage, but on Modern it probably doesn't. Because you have to use the simple input. Okay, so again here, now we're like, okay, round 3, we got 3 bars. Can we react to a fireball? Can we react to a whiff button? Right? Like, that's to me what Modern should be putting in the work here for. That time Luke finally doesn't take the bait, which really just means there's going to be less risk to him throwing out these crouch medium punches, right? Comes over, it gets TP'd. Could he react to that? You see he tried to. Doesn't again. That could have been level 3 as well. That's rough. He did it. So here this. I don't know if this is like just a call out. Like he just thinks that's what's gonna happen. Here, that he just jumps because he's like, this is gonna beat this. But we'll see. Medium punch. Okay, we're doing buffers again. But notice, we with medium punch, he tries to whip punish it. The second one he just lets it go. So I think the Gladius there is kind of getting in his head a little bit. Throws out DI. Gets him out of it. Again, that probably still could have been level 3, especially with Modern reactions. Modern Gaming. It's Gladius. Jumped over. Wakes up with it. GG's. Okay, so next game. Superman Punch. Pretty standard neutral stuff so far. Throws out his buffers. Medium punch and DP. Again, he does that a lot, where it's just sort of... He doesn't really ever let whiffs rock. I mean, he does, right? But a lot of times he's doing like some sort of move right afterwards. I need to get better at that conversion because I'm so bad at recognizing that I need to drive rush there. He's jumped on, just bad timing. He techs a lot on defense, at least in this set. I can't say like, you know, in general, but in the games that I've seen, certainly. Okay. Again, that's a massive gap when you medium punch and medium punch. But you build that kind of respect to be able to do that by charging Gladius in his face, and he doesn't want to push. Okay, good anti-air. Again, now there comes the Gladius. Again, Luke doesn't want to push buttons there. Good anti-air, gets the counter hit, gets an extra juggle. Gets towards medium punch. That's pretty cool finish there. But again, he's playing on neutral. So the thing to me though is like, is any of the stuff he couldn't be doing on Modern? And I feel like this is all stuff he could do on Modern. Or excuse me, on Classic. This time takes the throw. Wakes up with it, sure. DP and DP, sure. Instantly into it. Back throw, sure. What's he looking for? Okay. I do want to look at this combo. I could try to recreate the health pretty spectacularly if I really wanted to. And maybe I will try to do this a little bit. But I wonder if he could kill here. I don't think he can on Modern, okay? What route does he go for? OD. He does charge, crouch, heavy punch. Drive rush, back, heavy punch. OD. Okay. So let's take a look at that and then come back to this situation. So I tried to set the health to be pretty similar here. He did a combo look something like this, right? I never do these with crouch heavy punch. I always do back heavy punch. And I think it just does more damage, right? So charge that versus charge that. They do the same damage. So I think I'm just going to do this because I think it's easier. So let me just see if this kills, because if it kills, I probably gave him too little health, because I think I gave him too little health, because I think that's going to kill. Yeah, that would have killed. So I think maybe he had more like 60% or something like that. That looks better to me. And you can see, like, it's pretty fair here that this wouldn't kill if he kind of cashed out and did everything. And I think no matter what here, on Modern, there's not a whole lot he can do. On Classic, it definitely would have killed, right? Because you do Drive Rush, and then you can use OD Quadriga. So like you can do something like that, and then this definitely kills. So like, it's just one of those things where I see the only instance where it really came up, if he would have had Modern, he would have won. Or excuse me, if he would have had Classic, he would have won. And it's just like, kind of sticks with me, because people, you know, like Big Bird's always like, she loses damage, but it doesn't really matter. And I disagree. Like, she loses a lot of damage. I mean, you know what I mean? Like, I think she loses a lot of damage that people don't really realize yet. Like, the difference there, and that's, I don't even think that's, well, this is definitely, it'll be semi-optimal. Right? I mean, that's 800 damage. Like, that, to me, 800 damage is pretty significant. But, you know, what do I know? Anyway, back to the match. So, how do we finish this now? Anti-air, and then bad buffer. Right, he's trying to buffer it, and Luke walks into range. Tough shape. Yeah, there wasn't really a way to win that, to be honest with you. Burnt out, no meter. But you see what I mean about, like, I'm not sure what UC is actually getting out of Modern. I'm not saying he shouldn't be playing it, because, I mean, obviously he's much better than I am. And obviously he wouldn't be doing it if there wasn't some sort of, if he didn't, you know, if he wasn't trying to see if there was an advantage anyway. How about I shut up and figure out what he's doing? Okay. Just playing neutral with it, okay. Just kind of is responding to, no, I'm not going to shimmy. So that's sort of what this is, right? He sort of recognizes he's trying to bait a button. He's like, nope, I'm just going to charge Gladius, and then when you try to whiff punish whatever I'm going to do, it's going to come out and hit you. Goes for command grab. I think he does towards heavy kick, usually, yep. That's good because you can drive rush cancel this and do a 50-50. Or you can just do that and it's a block string and does a bunch of damage. Okay. Does DI, it hits. And just optimize some damage, make sure it kills. So, I think we're going to launch one more. Okay, so this will be the last one we watch. They played a ton more games than this. Seems like that, again, this is just a good neutral tool from this range. Because it's going to be hard to react to with DI, it's going to be hard to react to with DP, right? And it sort of encourages him to not throw fireballs at that range. Okay, there's finally we get to see him actually connecting the buffer. He's almost burned himself out, which is kind of crazy. Spends OD, burns himself out. Doesn't care too much because it's early, I think. But this is not good. But again, once he gets his back to the corner, he really loves to charge Gladius, which I think is good to know. So they're about even here. I mean, even health, even meter, even drive, pretty much. And here you can get away with this, right? So like, here he does OD Superman Punch, and he does towards heavy kick. He can get away with that, right? In part because Luke's going to drop parry, right? So like, he's probably not thinking about pushing a button immediately after, but also like, he's been so, I'm going to hang back after Superman Punch, that here he's able to just kind of, you know, hang loose, let it go. Trade. Again, here you'll see he does a buffer here. He does this crouch medium punch, you know, drive rush buffer, but the trade kind of screws it up, so cancel can't come out. Charger gets perfect parried. Luke can definitely kill here if he wants to. Yeah. So nice for Luke to be able to pick, you know, like, oh, I want to spend level 1, I want to spend level 2, kind of a thing. Like, if he wouldn't have had the drive, he could have spent level 2 to kill. Very good character. Haven't seen a lot of that button so far. Okay, so here I think this is just kind of a bad buffer, maybe. Like, he doesn't realize how close he's going to be, or Luke walks forward into it. So yeah, here this is, again, supposed to be the same old buffer that he really wants to combo one hit. But what's nice is he can be like, oh shoot, it was blocked and it came out anyway. Let me just hit, you know, crouch jab, and all of a sudden we can still get a mix up. Anti-air too soon. That's rough. That's rough. Sometimes I feel that with, like, having played Abigail, who had such a slow anti-air. You had to react so fast. Sometimes you hit the button too soon. That was smart. That was wicked smart. He spends this, he knows it's gonna combo, right? Like, this isn't, Luke's not confused about that. But he does this to burn him out, which is awesome. Now, the only thing here is he can't really DI him because, you know, modern gaming. You'd like to see Itazan. Ooh, that was a reaction. That's one of the issues with these stronger, these heavier versions of Superman Punch. They're pretty susceptible to DI if somebody's looking for it. And I think he probably was looking for something like that. Okay, not burnt out anymore. How do we play it? Very patiently until we do drive rush charged heavy. I wonder if this... No, he's right. Although he did go for drive rush to get Oki there, and he didn't get it. Just kind of missed the input, it looked like. Buffer, buffer. It's like, I dare you to push a button. Went for perfect parry. He tried it. He tried it, he just missed it. He could have done the simple input. Simple input I don't think would have killed, but it would have put him in the corner. He does that a lot, like one hit of medium punch into light punch Superman punch. Like, just does medium punch into Superman punch. Find it interesting. Because, I mean, it's like a 30 frame gap. Boom. Into level 3. It stops the clock. He doesn't want to. He doesn't want to. He wanted to see, he was being so greedy with his bar. Usually I don't recommend that, but if you're as clean as Itazan, you can be, I guess. But usually being greedy with bar is not recommended. Again, here he hasn't really done a whole lot of this. right? He's been very respectful a lot of these places. He's like, okay, I'm going to charge this, and boom, counter hit you. Command grab, he hasn't done that a lot. Just waiting for jump or something, right? Boom, there's a conversion. He can definitely kill here. GG's. Ends it with the perfect KO. Pow. So, what are my takeaways? Crouch medium punch into drive rush. Huge tool, right? I need to be doing it more. If you're not doing it, you probably need to be doing it more. Not just letting whiffs rock. So often I do that where I'm like, oh my goodness, I whiffed. Now I just want to try to down back or block or whatever. Try stuff like charge gladius. It's interesting to me because I would lose to like a whiff punish sweep anyway, right? Like even if the whiff was late, it would still hit you, which is weird, but whatever. Maybe that's just a playing against Luke thing too. I don't know. What am I doing after block Superman punch? Am I charging medium? Am I charging gladius? Am I doing crouch medium punch buffers? Things like that. Out of the corner, charge gladius. Pretty much everything every Marisa does. His Oki is really simple, right? It's very much just I'm gonna hit you with drive rush fierce, and am I gonna throw you or not? Right? It's very much his very simple game plan, and then occasionally he would command grab, but Oki's really simple. Neutral's really simple too, but obviously extremely effective. So I think it's kind of a lesson to me is just sort of play slower, pay more attention, right? Just kind of play more deliberately. It doesn't have to be complex. You don't need to set up all the time. Just watch and learn. Well, hopefully that was helpful. As always, have a good time.